Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. As you can see, my eye's a little irritated. I kind of was petting my pets or whatever, and I rubbed my eye and it just affected it because of the bacteria and germs. So that's what happened. But I'm okay. Don't worry. It'll go away. I already put some eye drops on earlier. So I'm returning to you for the Tuesday album review tonight for, this season 7, episode 3, I believe it is. So, yeah, what we're doing tonight is for, season 7, episode 3. I'm just making sure I'm giving you guys the right one. Yep. For Yellowcard, One for the Kids. Their third studio album that I wanted to check out for this 2001 record. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for the 13 tracks on this release. I know they have an extra track, Trainland or something like that. I can't remember. It's pretty short. It's like a 57-second interlude kind of track. It's a short track, and it closes out the record, but I wasn't able to find that song, so I'll just review what I got here. So, gonna discuss the 13 songs and let you know my thoughts on Yellowcard, One for the Kids album. So let's dive into this album review. Now it starts with Starstruck, which is a solid track for how it sounds. I didn't think it was that bad. I just think it was good in its own way. There were some moments where Ryan Key's vocals were working and some moments where it wasn't. But it's a solid start to the record, so I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5. Drifting's another interesting track that I can get on board with a little bit, but I still think it's a good track. It's not the worst thing I've listened to, but it's solid. So another 4.5 out of 5 goes to Drifting. Something of Value is a decent track. I mean, the vocals sounded nice for this, but it wasn't one of my favorites. It's the least favorite of mine. It's not terrible in any way, so I'd give it a 4 out of 5. Just a decent track at best. There were some moments where I wasn't feeling for how Ryan Key was singing the track, but overall, I think the track did alright for the acoustic work in this track. So the next song is Trembling, which is a good song too in its own way. I think with how Ryan Key was singing it, the guitar work and drum work and the violin work in this, because I think this is one of the albums that has the violin work. I don't know if that's how they started the band with violin work, but you can let me know in the comment section below if this was the starting point where they got a violinist to join the band to do violin work for their band. So overall, I think Trembling is going to get a 4.5 out of 5. The next song is Sure Shot, which is a pretty good song in its own way. I didn't hate this track for how it sounded. I think Ryan Key's vocals really shined in this, and overall the drumming and guitar work was pretty strong, and so was the violin work. The solo was pretty solid too for this track. The bridge of the solo for the guitar solo and all that, so really dug it. 4.75 out of 5. Big Apple Heartbreak is another pretty good song in its own way. Ryan Key's vocals really shined in this, and a little slow paced of a track, but it does work for how it sounds, so 4.75 out of 5. Cigarette is another good track in its own way. There were some moments where I liked it, moments where I didn't, but it played it safe for how it sounded. Ryan Key's vocals do shine from time to time in this track, but execution-wise with the melody and structure sounding wise, I think this track did alright for the drumming and guitar work, so fairly solid track, 4.5 out of 5. October Nights is another one that I do dig, but I do have some critiques with it. It's going to get a 4.5 out of 5 as well. I think with how Ryan Key sings it and the backing vocalists does alright for the most part, but I have a few critiques with how it sounds overall, so 4.5 out of 5. Rockstar Land is another pretty good song in its own way. I'd give it a 4.75 out of 5. I do dig this song for how it is. There were some repetitious moments that were the cringy factors of the track that brought the rating of the song down from getting a really good score, but I think if you look past that and enjoy the song for what it is, you might actually like the track. So, 4.75 out of 5. Pretty good song in its own way, but I do have a few critiques with it. For Pete's Sake is a pretty good song in its own way, and I'd give it a 4.75 out of 5. Ryan Key's vocals do shine in this, and overall, with how the backing vocalist, the violinist, sings in the background, does fairly well. So, 4.75 out of 5. AWOL is the second to last track officially for the regular edition, but it's overall solid enough. So, I'd give it a 4.75 out of 5. It's pretty strong for 3 minutes and a second. There were some critiques I had with it, but nothing to the extent where I dislike it. So, yeah. Rough Draft is a pretty good song in its own way. I'd give it a 4.75 out of 5 for this one. It's a solid way to end the record. It has some acoustic moments, then has some drumming and guitar work from time to time, but it's mostly relying on the acoustic stuff for this track, and it ends the record pretty well. As this last track for the regular edition, but I'm going to mention one more song because I'm not able to mention Trainland at all. I wanted to listen to that, but I couldn't find that 57-second track. So, yeah, Rough Draft is a 4.75 out of 5. It did alright for how it sounded. And finally, the the no audio, untitled hidden track, which is 1 minute and 59 seconds of silence. You don't really get any music at all, but it's an interesting way to end the record, just complete silence and just white noise. Not really white noise, it's just no noise at all. So it's a 4.75 out of 5. It ends it alright for how it is, but if you have Trainland with it, I guess it sounds better. I don't know. I didn't listen to it, but I just wanted to add this as the last track that I listened to, so 4.75 out of 5. Overall, production, mixing, and execution-wise, I think for this Tuesday album review for Season 7, Episode 3, for Yellowcard, One for the Kids, is a good record. I mean, it's not as bad as I thought it'd be, but I think it's a good record for how it sounds. I mean, the last two records I did enjoy. A little more tossing, midget tossing, and Where We Stand, which I reviewed those albums already in the last season. But overall, I think Yellowcard put out a pretty solid release for this one. And if I were to give Yellowcard's One for the Kids a score, I think this is a solid release, and it's going to get an 8 out of 10. It's a good record. I have a few critiques with some tracks on this record, but overall execution-wise, sorry, my nose is a little runny right now. Overall execution-wise, I think this record pulled it off. There was one song, Something of Value, that may grow on me in time, I don't know, but I gave it a 4 out of 5. It's still a decent song. It's not the worst thing I've heard, but it's not the best thing I've heard. So 8 out of 10 for Yellowcard, One for the Kids, their third studio album back in 2001. I hope you enjoyed this Tuesday album review tonight, and thank you guys for watching.